This video is just a quick walkthrough of the computer system. Whenever you're on it, you're going to be in read mode. As long as you're in read mode, you can't hurt anything. So you can play around with it as much as you want. You can touch anything. You can try things. You can't change anything. You can't hurt anything when it's in read mode. So dig in and learn as much as you can. Some of the specifics I'll maybe cover in other videos, but I'll just show you around a little bit so you can get an idea of what's what. So this is your ice temperature right here and here. This is your warm floor temperature here and here. This is the curling rink ice temperature. This here, active set point, that's what it's set to. So right now I've got it set high in order to keep the plant off while I'm recording this. Your control temperature is listed here and here. Your set point is listed here and over here. So there's some double ups of lots of things, but really that's just made to keep it simple. So you can look at this, you can see, the most important things you need to know. If you look at your compressor tab, if these are green, that means they're being called for and they should be running. All of your pressures and things that are on here are going to be very similar to your pressures that are there, but they're not going to be identical, and that's because they're recorded from different places. So, where the analog recording is taken and where the digital recording is taken is not in the same place, and therefore you'll have slightly different pressures. Look through this fluid cooler. Anytime you see one of these, you can click on it and it'll give you a trend log. I encourage you to do that and see the way that you flood and how it affects the plant and vice versa. By looking at these details and trying to figure out what all this stuff means, you'll gain a better understanding of the plant and you'll gain a better understanding of what actually is going on. These trend logs, you can change the time that you want to look at, and you can go back and you can look at specific dates. So if you go to, you can go back, you can pick when there was an Eagles game, you can pick when there was a the speed skate meet on the weekend or different things like that, and you can see what was going on with the plant during that time. When you hover over this, it'll tell you what's happening. The equipment's running or stopped, what demand load is. It'll tell you what the pressures, temperatures are. This will show you when the fans are running. They'll be in green. If you look at this piping diagram, this piping diagram is fairly well laid out to make it really easy to figure out what's going on here in correlation with what's going on over here. So example right here, we've got HX4. If we look here, we've got HX4. The orange lines, that is ammonia in its low pressure state. So I shouldn't say low pressure state, but if you look at, this is ammonia liquid here, whereas this is ammonia vapor here going into the compressors. This ammonia heat exchanger, you've got orange lines for everything that's likely going to be liquid. You've got blue lines for anything that's going to be a low pressure vapor, and then you've got yellow lines for anything that is a high pressure vapor. Over here, these blue lines, that's your brine. These green lines over here, this is your glycol. So you can use this to better understand the room. Looking at the labels, HX3, go and look at HX3 and look at its actual physical gauges and get acquainted. If you come over here to the troubleshooting tab, This is where you'll find all sorts of great trend logs. So if you want to go back and look at what the ice was doing when you had an Eagles game, you can load that data. And by going here, selecting your go-to date, you can pick what date, view the Eagles game, and you're going to see things like your demand load, your ice sensors are shown here. It's a little sensitive to get it right on there, but that's what your ice temperature was at its highest point. And then you come over here, and then this is what your ice temperature was at a lower point. And you can see that the demand dropped off, the compressors were stopped, the brine temperature eventually climbed back up, and then the plant would ramp back up again. So you can learn a lot from going through these trend logs. All of these here, these show you alarms. So here, this is showing alarm on Arena 1 and Arena 2 because I've got the plant turned off intentionally for this video. And paying attention to these things that are an alarm, it means it's something that you want to pay attention to. Down here, these are all notifications. So these notifications give you all kinds of information as to what's going on. Right now there's a ton of them because I've got the plant off to record this video. Some of these are pretty insignificant, and others are more important. So you just kind of have to read through them and use your judgment. If it says return to normal, that's just a notification that lets you know that the ice or the temperature that was previously outside of its range is now back within the normal range. This system is new to all of us. It's going to take us some time to learn everything there is about it, and there's going to be a lot to learn in the coming year. And the best way to do it is just dig in. You're in read-only mode. You don't have to worry about hurting anything, and eventually you'll get it figured out. All right, thanks.